My name is Natalie Ivazian, and for my geometry support class project, number 1, I did angles introduction. What is a ray? We have two examples shown below. First of all, a ray is a point that goes on in one direction. We have one ray on the left side as an example. We have one ray. It starts at point A, goes through point B. So we call this ray AB. It starts at A. It has a vertex at A. And on the left side, this is an example of an angle. For example, if we just ignore the D, it'll be ray EF. But since there are two rays make an angle. Since we have two rays, it is an angle. And when the two rays have the same exact vertex, you have an angle. Like on the picture on the right, you have an angle because both angle D and both angle F have the same vertex, share the same vertex, E. That is why you have an angle. And lastly, we talked about rays in the slide and just a little about namings. How many rays make an angle? In the previous slide, we talked about rays, introduction to rays. And we talked about just a little about how many rays make an angle. But in this slide, we are going to talk about more about the rays and more about the angle and how many rays make an angle. Two rays make an angle. As you can see, there are two pictures on the bottom, on the left side and on the right side. The picture on the right side has two rays that makes an angle, as well as the picture on the left side has two rays that makes an angle. And the vertex is the point that connects the two rays and to make an angle also. So on the left side, the vertex is A, and on the right side, the vertex is D. You can't just say it is angle A, or you can't just say it is angle D. You have to specifically name it. Name the angle. For the left side, you could say angle CAB or angle BAC. And on the right side, you could say angle EDF or angle FDE. Why can't I call it angle L only? You can't just say angle L because there is more than one angle. As you can see on the bottom, there is more than one angle. That is why we use namings to not confuse ourselves. And there is one vertex. That confuses us a lot. That's why we use namings. It could either be angle MLN or angle NLM, or it could be angle NLP or angle PLN, or it could be angle PLQ or QLP or QLM, and lastly MLQ. And this is why we use naming to not confuse ourselves with only one vertex. Not all angles are the same. As you can see, the angle on the left is more open than the angle on the right. Angle on the right is more closed. We say open and close when we measure angles, and we should measure it how open and closed they are. For example, the picture on the left, the measure of this angle is greater than the measure of the angle on the right. Because on the left it is open, much more open, and on the right it's much more closed. That is why not all angles are the same. In the previous slides, we talked about rays, lines, the symbols of the angles, and now we are going to talk about different kinds of angles and the namings of the angles. Also, in the previous slides, we also talked about the vertex. So, different kinds of angles. There is right angle, first of all. The right angle is always straight L, 90 degrees. It's not greater than 90 degrees. It's not less than 90 degrees. It's perfectly 90 degrees. It has two perpendicular lines that form a right angle. Okay, another type of an angle is called obtuse angle. In this picture, obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. Lastly, the type of angle is called acute angle. Acute angle, I have a trick. I think of acute angle as cute, small. So acute angle are less than 90 degrees. It is not greater than 90 degrees, only less than 90 degrees. In this picture below, as an example shown, angle PQR is an acute angle. Finally, as a teacher, I would like you guys to provide the 3 different types of angles that was presented in this slide. So, number 1, there is right angle. Number 2, there's obtuse angle. Number 3, there's acute angle. But there are still more angles to learn. Thank you for watching and listening to my basics about the introduction of angles.